Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to consider the quarterly earnings of the AMD, which is a major chip maker with extensive product offerings in the key sector of technology. We are going to see how the AMD is doing, and in doing so, we will be in a position to realize how the AI segment is shaping up and what are the challenges as well as opportunities in this dynamic environment where the technologies keep changing, but the need for the quality processors which can do the computation remains the same, and it is only rising. So, in this environment, with more and more demand being placed on advanced microprocessors, the AMD is going to be a key player to meet this demand. And in this environment, if we see that the earnings of the AMD are better than estimates, if it is topping the analyst expectations, that mean there is growth potential in the segment, and all we have to do is look at how the company is planning to profit from these surge in demand for the semiconductors, for the chips, for custom made chips to realize the potential of the generative AI and allied technologies. So, in this case, the AMD is offering solutions which are promising, and with the help of this, it has been able to increase its revenue. If we look at the revenues for the current quarter with the revenues of the same quarter a year back, you will see that there has been growth in revenues. And even though some sectoral performance is not as good and there has been decline, but that is more or less being compensated with increase with gains in other segment of the business, and overall it has been able to raise its revenues and also increase its profit by substantial extent, and that is one key reason why we are seeing the share price of the AMD trading significantly higher compared to where it was prior to the release of its earnings report. And we will be looking at some key highlights released by the company itself, which has helped turn around the investor sentiment from bearish to some extent bullish on the AMD. In the words of AMD's chair and CEO, the company has delivered strong revenue and earnings growth with its product offerings. The outlook for the fourth quarter is not as promising. It has proceeded with caution while providing the guidance for the next quarter, and it is even below the earlier expected numbers, and that had contributed to gap up gap down opening. But once the fine print was revealed, and we had this fresh announcement coming in from the AMD regarding its futures revenue expectation. It said that it is expecting the chunk of its revenues to come from the processors it is offering for the AI enabled LLM models, and these solutions are expected to bring in more than US dollar 2 billion in next couple of months. So the company is establishing itself as a player who is going to be at the forefront of this technological churn and try to profit from these turn of events. So these are some key achievements as well as the prospective expectations of the company for the company itself as well as sector in general. There were some segments for the company which have seen lower revenues, but overall, as I said earlier also, the picture does look promising and we are expecting a sort of turnaround in next couple of weeks and we have this share price trajectory which had been bearish for last couple of weeks or even you can say couple of months, but even on that side we are seeing that this fundamental betterment of the company's prospects has resulted in turnaround in the investor sentiment also with new new product offerings helping the company achieve significant market share in the AI segment, and that has helped it compensate for lower revenue growth in the consumer facing segments. For further details on its earnings report and also the forward guidance. You can always go through these achievements listed on the investors relation page of the AMD and see for yourself what is there in the fine print. Now we will be looking at the financial highlights of the AMD's third quarter 2023 results. It has a diverse portfolio with its ever expanding customers and partner ecosystem. The data center and AI business is bringing in a lot more revenues than other segments, and the company's balance sheet remains strong. So, these are key highlights which have been listed here itself. We will not dwell much on the technical products of the company, that is for someone else to do. We are here trying to gauge the sentiments which are now more in favor of bullishness and for profit maximization. We can indeed go for some smaller with these unique offerings from the AMD. We can expect the company to be at the forefront of this generative AI revolution and profit from it as well. It has already given the prospective revenues and profit from the AI segment to be around US dollar 2 billion. Now, if we look at the actual numbers for the third quarter of 2023, the revenues have risen 4% year on year, with the last quarter's revenues standing at US dollar 5.8 billion. The gross margin has also improved on most metrics, which are a core concern to us. The AMD is doing quite well. It has also delivered higher than expected earnings. And even if we look at the other numbers, These look quite promising, with net income having risen substantially from only $66 to now stand at $299. Earning per share is also higher. This is the breakup for the revenue and gross margin, earnings per share. All these key highlights of the results are listed here. If you simply want to have a cursory look, you can access this file from the investor relation page of the AMD, or else you can even go through this statement of the quarterly P&L statement with this net revenue now being quite higher than where it was a year back. The margin has gotten better for the company, so that is also a key fundamental factor which is bullish for the stock. With the help of these quarterly reports, which are publicly available, we are coming to a realization that the growth momentum is in the favor of the company, and we can expect these to continue at least in near future till these current developments related to the generative AI model help and hold. The AMD is going to profit, which makes the fundamental side of the AMD quite conducive for new trade and investing opportunities. But we do have to keep in mind that the possibility of suffering loss is always there. In that kind of scenario, it is better for us to go for the trades only when we feel that the risk reward ratio is in our favor, so as to make sure that even in the eventuality of we being wrong, we shouldn't be losing too much money. Let us now head to the technical side of the story and consider how things are shaping up on the chart formation of the AMD. This is the hourly chart, and with this spike, it is quite higher compared to where it was just a week back, with these gains coming in of around 15 percentage point. Even in today's trading session, it is trading with a bullish momentum for most part of the day. But if you notice that we still have to wait, and I think now today is not really the time to initiate new trades, as that will make risk reward ratio unfavorable. But we have to make a shopping. We have to make the investment for the AMD stock, and in that case, we will have to wait for some more days, some more sessions, and if things stabilize and we see the AMD holding well above 100 levels and consolidating with upward bias, we can indeed go for the initiation of the new trade from the short term perspective. So on the short term, you can say that the things are now changing from bearish to bullish, and in a course of time, we are going to get further confirmation. And only thing which we will need is going to be a risk reward ratio, which is favorable to the investors. And if we happen to be wrong, we shouldn't be losing too much money. So that is the primary concern. On the medium term time frame of daily charting, it is in a bearish zone with this formation of lower lows and lower highs continuously continuing for last couple of months, and the things are going to change only if the AMD is able to hold and reverse the course and make a formation of a new higher high. So for that we need to wait it out. We need to allow the AMD's investors to gauge the report and decide, and if we see that there is increased interest in the AMD shares, we can then plan accordingly and try to profit from the changed scenario. Now, if we go for weekly, the things doesn't really change much, and even on the long-term charts of weekly and daily, the outlook for the company share price is not that promising. Only in the short term we can double into the share price and go for buying the stock. But from medium term, from the short term, we do have to take things cautiously and wait it out for better opportunity. So that's my take looking at the fundamental and technical side of the story for the AMD, and let's see how things shape up moving forward as well. So that's all from my side for today's trading session, where we considered the AMD's quarterly earnings highlight and its share price trajectory from short term, from medium term, and long term basis as well. So thank you all for joining me. Have a fabulous time ahead. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.